Hello, good morning. It's December 11th. Another day at the Fixvirus Security Show. All right, let's start out with the news of the day. The news of the day is kind of a fun little thing today. I noticed that there is a Keurig 2.0 hack. I don't know if you know, but at the Keurig's 2.0, you can only put certain Keurig cups in the Keurig machine because apparently there is a little, if you see the Keurig, the top of the Keurig cup, there's a little, I get, maybe you can't see it. Man, you can put it, it's too close. Okay, anyway, it says Keurig on here, Keurig brewed. So apparently you must have that little portion of this strip, otherwise it won't brew the cup. So if you place this little strip on a non-Keurig cup and then put it in your Keurig machine, it will work. So that's kind of cool, huh? Well, this is another instance of explaining what a hacker does. So a hacker is not just a computer hacker. They can hack Keurig machines. So Keurig wants to sell their own brand of coffee, or they license it, or how it works. You know, they want to make a little extra revenue. So any of the Keurig cups that look like Keurig cups but didn't pay the various monies to Keurig Brewery, then you can't use your Keurig cup. Well, now you can. You just have to cut up a standard Keurig cup top and then put this on top of the old one. Or if you want to make it a permanent issue, then you just cut this out and tape it onto the Keurig machine. But I just wanted to illustrate a different aspect of a hacker. So hackers find solutions to their goals, which may be, you know, using ABC company for Keurig coffee. But some hackers obviously are computer hackers, and they're interested in hacking your machines. Why are they, you know, we discussed this last time, but why are they interested in doing what they're doing? Well, some of them do want to make money. Some of them are interested. They're just curious. Oh, can I hack something? Some of them are just wanting to do, uh, to say to other people, hey, you know, I've done this. I'm cool. I can do this. It's like bragging rights. Back in the 90s, that's what it was primarily. But really today, the number one reason for hacking on computers is to attack you, to steal your money. That is the number one reason. And I've put some of these people on my website, but you can see this guy that's on here. This is not a nice guy. He he stole many thousands of dollars of different people, and that's the FBI Black Hat 2014 that I scraped that picture off of. And like we discussed last time, at some point in early 2000, this became a business. In Russia, in Eastern Europe, there's less laws. So what happens is that people end up doing what they want to do. They get in with the wrong people. They try to hack. They say, hey, you know, I could do this on a computer, and then the criminals say, oh, you can do that on a computer. Well, I heard you can make some money on this. So then 2 and 2 comes together. They need to make money, and there's a guy that knows how to monkey around with computers. He's a good hacker. So then what happens is they make programs to make money as a hacker. So now the criminals are institutionalizing this. They're saying, hey, you work for me now. We're going to make millions of dollars. Because when they press the button, they're not just attacking 10 computers. They're attacking everybody on the internet. So if you think about this, it's 1,000 computers, 1,000,000 computers that they're attacking. So if this hacker figures out vulnerability 1, 2, 3, 4 that was found last month, and that has a patch from Microsoft, and if you don't patch your machine, you will get hacked. Eventually. It's not if you'll get hacked. It's when you will get hacked. That is the key these days. That's why we're getting more and more hacks. I don't know if you've noticed. The Sony Pictures Corporation, which got hacked, and they lost all of their data. In fact, right now they're not even using computers because their network is compromised, completely compromised. You cannot use their network at all. That is kind of interesting in this day and age. So that was kind of like my thought of the news of the day, and to further our understanding of hacking, and with a little bit of a fun, the Keurig top here. So now you can use any Keurig that you want, any Keurig cup. Okay. I'm trying to learn how to transition from the news of the day to the tip of the day a little bit. And, I'm still working on it. This is kind of like a learning process for me. I appreciate you guys looking in and checking out this experience for me to figure out how to do these video logs. So on the tip of the day, I wanted to go over again to make it simpler to understand the process of hacking, and to basically give you an idea of what the hacker does as a cookbook. So tip of the day is, again, vulnerability assessments. You must do them. But in just to tell you, you must do vulnerability assessments. You're like, well, why should I do that? Well, I'm going to explain how a hacker does their process from A to Z. So I'm going to call it the hacker cookbook. So he picks up the recipe in this cookbook and says, all right, well, what am I going to start first? Well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to scan. I'm going to figure out an nmap command, and I'm going to target the following thousands and thousands of IP addresses in the United States. Or maybe I'll target Germany or whoever I'm going to target these days. So first I'm going to scan. So that tells me something. With a pure scan, you're now going to find, 1,000 machines with certain characteristics that I'm looking at. So, okay, so next, of those machines with that characteristics, it's a vulnerability assessment. So I'm going to then do another scan on that called a vulnerability assessment on those machines. For instance, I want to look at all machines that have web servers. So obviously, like, your firewall doesn't have a web server. So what you need to do is anything that responds to port 80, which is a web server, will respond in a certain way. That's my initial scan. So now in the vulnerability assessment, I'm going to use a wget command, or I'm going to use the different open source tools like Nikto to try to see what kind of server is on that web server. So is it a Microsoft web server? Is it a Linux Apache web server? So then I'm going to cut down, I'm going to figure out this. So all these Microsoft web servers of a certain type, maybe I'm looking for the 7.0 ones. My vulnerability assessment. So after that, I'm going to figure out how I can penetrate an IIS 7.0 machine. So then what's going to happen is it's going to be penetrate and exploit. So I figured out how to attack IIS 7.0, and then I'm going to exploit it. So now I've got maybe from 100,000 machines that I clicked on the scan, maybe 10,000 machines have my characteristic that I'm looking for. Then out of those, I've got like 1,000 machines that I can exploit. So maybe some of them are patched, so I can't exploit those. But some are not. They're not all, not everybody patches their machines right away. So that's why I keep hammering on everybody. You need to patch your machines. Patch, patch, patch. I rebooted my own machine yesterday. I'm all patched up. Less likely, I'm not going to say I'm not going to get attacked from anybody, but it's less likely for people to do something on my machine. So, okay, so we got the penetrate and then the exploit. So now they're on the machine. So now, what are they going to do on the machine? Well, depends on what is on the machine. They could just steal your software licenses. They could steal your certificates. They could just use the machine for something. Or they can sell the access to the machine. So remember, to exploit, the penetrate is one thing. So now they're on the machine. Exploit is another. So it just depends on their goals. These criminal hackers are many different types. They may have different goals. I don't know if you're familiar with the CryptoLocker GNOME. That's a specific kind of virus which encrypts your machine and you lose all your data. You cannot use your data unless you unencrypt the data. I've had a client of mine call me and say, hey, can you help me with this? I've got a CryptoLocker on it. Well, he didn't say that, but he said my machine is completely encrypted. All my files are encrypted. So what you end up doing is, if you really need that data, you're going to have to restore from backup. Now, he didn't have it, and I told him not to pay the ransom, and I told him to just, I was able to restore a few things from the old email system that he had on the machine. I was able to restore that. But basically what we did was we just wrote off that machine. Hopefully in the future somebody will be able to unencrypt his system from CryptoLocker 2.0. Back up your systems. Anyways, so penetrate and exploit. One aspect is they could just sell the rights to control the machine to other people who may be doing something else. They're looking to attack other people, other companies on the internet. You do not want to lose control of your machine. The last aspect of this process, this cookbook, is control. So we're talking scan, vulnerability assessment, penetrate and exploit, and then control. You really want to give control to your these criminal hackers, and then whenever, hopefully one day they'll just forget about you. But I'm just doing a hope thing. Is that what you want to do? No, you need to do your own scan vulnerability assessment, SVA. You need to do that yourself. And that's what I do. I can help you with that, and we can then see what the hacker sees, the criminal hacker, and we can then mitigate your vulnerabilities if there are any. And that's what my suggestion is. That's my tip of the day. Appreciate you guys staying with me. we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks.